Hey, what's going on? We're here with the B-Fix car at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We're going to be doing a track tutorial as well as a mock qualifying run to get just an idea and some help for this week's iRacing schedule. I did make just a couple laps already just to kind of get a feel for it. I'm usually pretty good at New Hampshire. Definitely a hard track to pass on, and one that you got to keep track position at. So going to this mock qualifying run, tires are cold. You just kind of want to get some heat. You know your fast lap's going to be lap 2. I break it to 2. And you know, you're just kind of getting some heat into the tire. You don't want to let the car snap too loose and build excess surface temperature, but you just want to get it rolling around. So here I'm going to take a little bit wider of a lane coming up on the lap 2 to get a better run down the straight. And so this will be our actual qualifying lap here. So break it to 2. You want to keep it down as low as possible, but not to this part down below me there. That part down there has a different banking, which the car doesn't like as much. 3 and 4, you can run a little bit tighter of a lane. Really just focus on getting the throttle down. So that was a 30.3. I saw some people in the 2s, a little bit lower potentially. My 1 and 2 wasn't great. I feel like the 3 and 4 was better. But again, as the tires wear and the race goes on, you'll move back your braking zone a little bit before the 2. And you just don't really want to heat up your right rear tire. That's like the biggest thing during this week's race. So now I'm braking at a kind of like a 2.5. This is, just keep it in this lane here. Keep the throttle, you know, not going too high on the throttle, and you just don't really want to be spinning your tires off the corner. Keep your wheel somewhat straight and try and give as much throttle as you can and balance that, you know. You can see my telemetry in the bottom left-hand corner. I usually jump to about 40 to 50% throttle mid-corner. This gets you back up to your traction limit. So you don't want to just give it not enough throttle either. You want to give enough throttle to get the car to rotate and get to that traction limit. But the car is definitely, you know, going to be loose corner exit. I actually do feel like the car's a little bit tight rotating, but that's probably to save the right rear tire from just getting worn. You're using up the right front more in the center of the corner. But you know, you want to do whatever feels comfortable to you, obviously. If you want to do something where you're running this middle and then coming down here, you know, you can. I just don't think it's as beneficial as it is just running the same kind of middle groove. People will start to push up the track as a defense. They'll do that so that you can't get to their outside. Like if I was trying to pass someone, I would try and, you know, potentially rotate this top lane here and get a bumper to their outside. But also moving up can be beneficial, especially on older tires. It just helps straighten out, less turning, less force the wheels have to take. Turning wise, you know, you're going to be running more speed, wearing them potentially a little bit more, but braking just before the 2 again. This is my go-to line. Kind of keep it right on that one groove up. Overall, it's a pretty fun track. Just the passing makes it tough. Obviously, it's going to be all restarts. And, you know, where you're at with the restarts and how well you're getting through traffic. If people take 2 tires or people don't take any tires either. So let's go over some of this here. I'm going to go back to my fast lap. So this is going to be the quick lap here, right? And let me actually pull up this here so we can see this. Okay. So that right there. All right. So right before the 2, of course it's not showing. Okay, hold on, we'll get rid of that. All right, you can see it down here. So right before the 2, braking, carrying that brake, keeping it right in the second groove here. Okay. Notice about mid-corner, my throttle jumps. See that jump right there? You want to get about to half right away, and then you're kind of just managing the exit. One of the biggest things is that if you're driving at this throttle where you're at 80, 90% versus full 100, that 100% throttles can make a huge difference in how the car handles, but not necessarily in speed, right? You can use way too much throttle, but if you use just a little bit less, you'd rather be under than over, because if you go under, you're just going to be saving your tires and you're going to be quicker on the long run. If you go over, you might be quicker for a lap or 2, but you're just going to end up burning off your right rear tire, and it's going to slow you down significantly more over the long run. So that's where you just got to be patient with it. You know, obviously on a qualifying run, it's okay to use a little bit. You still have to survive 3 and 4 if you do heat up your right rear. Same thing, you're getting the half throttle pretty much right away, and then you're just managing the exit. You do want to brake at the 2, so I'm full brake and instantly come down. You just want to get the car pretty much planted. You can see how quick, once it settles, once that weight's on those front tires, you can start coming off the brake, rotating that middle back to mid throttle, and then you're just managing it up to the wall there, right? So we can do one more qualifying run, see if I go any quicker at all or not. I'll just move this down. So again, as soon as you come out of the pits in the first lap, you just want to get heat in the tires, but not slide them. You're going to start sliding your tires, you're just going to wear them too much and create too much temperature. Do you want to get some heat in the brakes as well? But notice how I'm not super urgent. I'm actually using a little bit more wheel input to try and scrub heat into the tires, but not slide them. And then this here, you want to take a little bit wider of a lane. You don't want to go too high and get a bunch of marbles on your tires. Just come down, get a good exit. So I braked a little bit too hard, it felt like. Seemed to be okay. The middle was quick, but I lost exit rotated the car down just a little bit too much. Right around the same there. Yeah, so that was a 30.4. I think we got more people on track, so it's wearing that lane a little bit, rubbering in. However, 30.3, 30.4 is still a good lap. In qualifying, you might be a little bit quicker. And you won't notice that. You'll just have more grip. But notice how the car, I'm riding that left front on that other groove, and it doesn't like it. It doesn't help the car's grip. It just makes it unstable on exit. Had a hard time getting to the throttle. See how long my throttle is not full. So, anyways, that will do it for this week. This is just a different type of video. I'm going to start making just a track tutorial. Help some of us out. Eventually I'll get to the B and A cars as well, but I mainly do the Xfinity, but I can do all of them for sure. So, but yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you like the content, and yeah, have a great rest of your week.